this question is, Justin, what would you do if you panicked this morning and realized that you got liquidated under 6,000? What would I do? Would I re-enter now and accept the loss or wait for a lower opportunity? The question seems to be, Justin, what would you do if I just took a significant loss? Or Justin, what would you do if you just took a significant loss? Would you dive right back in or would you wait for a lower opportunity? So here's the answer to that. Because the reality is that today is no different from any other day. And this loss or that loss that you're referring to is no different than any other loss. While you are still going through the process of becoming comfortable with your trading strategy, you are going to naturally feel pain when you take a loss. You are going to be seeing the number in your trading account diminish. This is why we advocate the process of backtesting, demo trading, paper trading, or live trading with small capital to help ease this stress, because you have time then to see your strategy play out in the live market with live market price data. And you understand that as with any trading strategy, there is upside and there is downside. And knowing that in the long run, you will come out ahead makes those periods of downside much more palatable, because you will have to go through them. And this is how over time, over several years of trading, you develop that mental and emotional discipline that makes you a really tough competitor out there in the markets, and then has you answering these questions. If we condense this into what the answer really is, what would you do if you just took a loss, right? Doesn't matter the size of the loss, although it of course can. What would I do if I took a small loss? What would I do if I took a medium-sized loss? What would I do if I took a big loss? Couple answers. One, practice proper risk management so that you know your max downside. Liquidation is not something that should be happening. Position sizing and proper leverage will alleviate that forever. So again, I never recommend that anybody uses more than 5x leverage. I always recommend that for every single trade, every single person uses a stop loss. And I advocate and recommend now actively that people who are in their first year, maybe even two of trading, do not hold their equity in BTC, that they hold it in USD or USDT if they are a trader. So that way you're holding your equity in a stable currency and you are able to see the results of your trading. As you become more advanced, if you would like to adopt a strategy similar to mine where you do hold your equity in BTC and then you use futures contracts to hedge your position, you can adopt that over time and backtest that as you would backtest anything else. So that's number one. That's the long-term solution that will make sure that every loss you ever take is not a large loss, a small loss, or an acceptable loss, 1 to 2% of your account maximum. Every single loss should only be 1 to 2% of your account. And 3 consecutive losses should have you taking a month off from the markets. That's the whale rule. That's the shark rule from Dr. Alexander Elders. Come into my trading room. Fantastic book. I highly recommend you read that. The second part of this question is, what would I do if I just take a loss? Would I dive right back in or would I wait for a lower opportunity? Well, the second option is the correct option. If you just took a large loss, then the correct thing to do is to take a few days to get your head right. Because the place where the question is coming from is clearly coming from a place of anxiety and stress. And I know what it feels like to see a large loss, to see a large deduction from your trading account. I've been there. I've been doing this for a long time. And the correct option is, of course, to take some time off, to get your head right, to reassert yourself, to reestablish exactly how you're going to trade, and then continue on as normal. Again, if you took a larger than 6% loss of your account, I would recommend that you take anywhere from 20 to 40 days off from the market. This will allow you to be reinvigorated. This will allow you to reestablish exactly what it is about trading, what your edge is. You don't have to not be practicing. You should be utilizing that time to backtest, refine your strategy, double test things, paper trade, but you should restrict yourself from putting actual capital into the markets, and you can move into USDT, you can hedge, but generally I'm going to recommend that from the point of this question, I would recommend you move into USDT or USD. That way that you are truly risk out of the markets, you can really take some time to establish yourself, and you just cut off the emotional circuit breaker that can cause this sort of distress. And then just reevaluate your strategy, reevaluate your position sizing strategy, your stop and target strategy, and then just proceed as normal once your kind of timeout period is over. These are just good mental and emotional and proper trading discipline rules and techniques that every trader implements into their lives when they want to make this a career or when they want to be successful at this. So If it was me and I took a very large loss today, I would take some time off from the markets. I would not dive right back in. I would reevaluate. I would double check my systems, double check my position sizing, double check my stop and target system, make sure that everything is correct in that, and then proceed as normal once my timeout period is over. Thank you so much for the question. And again, I do want to end that question on the note that every loss can hurt. And the reason we practice these strategies, the reason why we do everything consistently, the reason why we do the back testing that we do, the reason why we build the systems that we do, and the reason why we practice the risk management that we do is multifold. Reduce losses, make losses consistent when they happen, and make gains consistent and prioritize those over losers. Maximize the results of the gains, minimize the results of the losses, and then apply that model consistently over time so that we have a consistently profitable trading strategy. And I do truly believe that that is the only consistent approach to the markets. So thank you for the question, my friend.